everybody? It's your boy Danny Muchacho. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Danny Muchacho here with Alex tonight. We're gonna be running the show. So Alex, what's good, bro?
I'm doing good. I thought I heard a ghost here 10 seconds ago, but yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, it was weird on my end. I was like, what's going on here? I was used to like the 30-second countdown. It didn't do that.
Oh,
But,
okay. I'm over here looking at 30 seconds and I'm seeing you talking. I was like, okay, but on to it. How's everybody? How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. That set me for a loop, honestly. I was not ready for that. I had this whole thing in my head, but whatever.
It's all good. Do your thing.
Yeah, man. So we're actually going to start this first segment. It's going to be presented by us, the Bronx Muchachos podcast. Use promo code FRESH2023 for $15 off your first order. So make sure you hit up our link tree. Make sure you hit up our Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And buy some merch. So to show your support. So I think the first thing we're going to start off with is the WBC. Like, I feel like we would be remiss to not start off with that, with how big it's gotten and in how, this thing with Edwin Diaz and PR kind of, taking it to DR. Los Boricuas.
Hey. As a Puerto Rican,
yeah, I'm
not a Mets fan, so I'll take it.
Man, no, like, I think it hurts, bro. It hurts.
Oh, man, it does. It hurts baseball altogether because, like, he is an extremely talented player, and that is just his opening and him coming out there and everything. It does bring excitement to a game, even if you're not a Mets fan. Just watching it, like highlights or whatever, it is exciting. So it's going to be a piece of the game that we're going to miss out in the year, but hopefully he gets well, and next year he'll be back at it again. I doubt we're going to see Mets send anyone to the WBC next time.
Steve Cohen's like, enough of that.
Nope. Yeah, he's done.
No, man, I still love the WBC. To a lot of Puerto Ricans and other Latin countries, to pretty much every other country, it seems like, besides the U.S., everybody wants to participate, and it means a lot, and they want to put on for their country. It's not like that. The U.S., we have the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like, athletes have the opportunity to get their gold, silver, and bronze medals, whereas other countries, they really don't have that opportunity. So the WBC is great for Venezuela or Israel or, Cuba competes in the Olympics and whatnot, but teams like that and countries like that, like where it means absolutely everything.
I will agree with you to a point. I believe now the U.S. is actually taking the WBC more seriously. That is why this year we have more stars actually playing in the WBC. Because last time when Puerto Rico was the favorite to win and everything like that, and we were that Puerto Rico was supposed to win the championship, America came back. They came back, they got hot at the right time, and then they took it out, and then they realized, wait a minute, the rest of the world is catching up to what what American baseball is. Like, think about it. Japan, Asian markets are very, very strong too. The Caribbean market Latin American market is another strong market. Okay, the European market, that still has some way to go. Let's be real, especially with Great Britain and their tees falling off their jerseys and all that kind of stuff.
Terrible jerseys, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, that was sad. I was like, man. I'm not a Red Sox. We all know we're not Red Sox fan, but I gotta say, Red Sox jerseys even looks better than that.
Certainly, some more thought and effort was put into it. They went to Times New Roman font. Like, hey, that looks pretty good on a blank jersey. Let's just throw it right on there.
I mean, I guess they did it like they do the food. They just decided to boil it.
Yeah. Man.
No Don't flavor.
Boil chicken. Yeah.
Like,
no salt, no pepper.
The seasoning? What seasoning? We don't need that.
Sazon? Don't need it. Sazon Odor? Don't need it.
No, man.
Powder?
It's like little kids say, it's too spicy.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Yeah, Great Britain put no effort into their jersey. Canada was pretty bad too, but Great Britain definitely takes the cake as the all-time worst.
At least Canada was actually trying to play some baseball, though. Come on.
They did a little bit, not much. But so I think the biggest question is, like,
What's up?
with the WBC.
Mm-hmm.
I, there's a lot of talk on Twitter, and there's a lot of negativity from a lot more so from American people saying, "Oh, this is an exhibition. Don't send your best players out there. You don't want to see them getting hurt." But 63 million people in Japan was watching Pool C or Pool D, whatever it was. 46% of Japanese households were watching the WBC, and it's just like it means so much to a lot of people in a lot of countries. Puerto Rico, DR, like, bro, you're not gonna see that anywhere else.
No,
Nowhere else.
Puerto Rico, when Olympics come around, they're caring about boxing because I don't even think they have baseball in the Olympics anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so. But boxing, track and field, stuff like that.
That's
That's
what,
what Puerto Rico's going to compete in.
exactly. So, like, this is a chance for countries like Puerto Rico that have the ability to show their talent in other reasoning, like track and field. Everyone does track and field. Like everyone, if you're in Caribbean, America, South America, you're going to do some track and field. Like that's going to happen. Like it's part of nature. But like those team sports, we don't see too much of that other than soccer going on. So this is a great way, I believe, still for Major League Baseball to try to make baseball a worldwide sport, just like soccer has done it to himself. That it's a worldwide sport. We as Americans were the last to come aboard, but it's a worldwide sport and it's there for a reason that everyone likes it. And that's what baseball is trying to do. Now, is it coming down that we have people over here that are on Twitter saying that, oh, not to have your stars play? I get it. I understand it. As a fan, as a Yankee fan, I don't want our stars either playing it, but that's also being greedy because these people come from different backgrounds. They might have a strong nationalism for their home country, that they want to show patriotism for their home country, even though they're here, that they live here and everything. They still have roots. They still have roots at home. Because let's be real, us being Latino and everything like that. So yes, we're American, but we still have our roots, that it comes back, that we're caring about stuff that goes back in the country, that, okay, we have our roots, that we're going to eat our mofongo, or we're going to, or we're going to eat arroz con pollo and all kind of stuff. Like, yeah, we're going to do that. Like we have that. Okay. And look at the Japanese people, like that Otani home run that he does, and that everyone's giving away the ball and looking at the ball, taking a picture of the ball and all that kind of stuff. That is something that we don't have. And I wish we kind of did have that feeling over here, because it's like, wow, they let everybody be a part of that moment. And it's like, over here, what are we doing? Judges home run. What are we doing? The guys everyone's trying to get it left and right, kill each other, just so that way we could get a quick buck.
You need security. Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit. The dude put the ball up in the air and was like, "Oh wait, I'm in the Bronx." Like,
exactly.
He's like, "Wait, hold up. Let me not forget where I'm at right now." That's funny. No, but it's so true. And I think the WBC is huge. I think it's important, and I love the fact that I think you hit it right on the nose. Being Puerto Rican, my family's Puerto Rico. Like being able to have your home country represented, and also being American and rooting for the U.S. And man, bro, I was torn in the middle when U.S. and Puerto Rico were playing. Like I didn't know who to root for. Like I was in the Navy, and I was like, I wore these flags color. I wore the colors, and I'm American.
Well, no matter what, don't worry. As a Puerto Rican, you're still wearing the colors no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. All right, exactly, 100%. There's no Puerto Rican Navy, but it's just, and America's full of immigrants anyway, and
that's all we are. That's what we are, a country of.
And the WBC definitely just brings all of us together. I think it's really important. Like, I would love to see Aaron Judge and play for USA at the WBC in 3 years. I think he made the right decision to not do it this year. He just signed this mega deal. He's the captain of the Yankees. They need him in spring training. He's not just going to bounce. Right?
Especially his first season as a captain. He needs to be there. He needs some work to do and all that kind of stuff. He needs to learn whatever role the captain power on his shoulders and all that kind of stuff. Like, he has a lot to worry about right now. So yeah, in 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, I'm not 100% sure how WBC is going to be working. But yes, I agree that he has that ability. Like, let's be real. Rizzo might even play in it by then because he'll be done. He'll be like, hey, he might want to play a game. He might want to play a game for Canada for all we know. Who knows? Right?
Italy.
Canada. Italy.
No, it's Italy.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Anthony Rizzo, man. Hey.
That's true. Well, Italy has to be in there first. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they got to requalify. They're good. So they'll be in the next WBC.
Hey, at least, and maybe they'll do a European league, and then the European side, so that way we know Italy will win. Because come on, they got to go against Great Britain. They're good against them already.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible. But Henry Ford can hit. Good for him. But who do you think is going to win it all in the WBC?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're lagging.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. All right. I asked.
Sorry.
Who do you think is going to win? It's all good.
Who do I think is going to win? I want to say Puerto Rico. I want to say still. I'm going to say Puerto Rico. I'm going to go there. Like, even though it's probably going to be America, I think the U.S. has a good team, a really, really good squad. Yeah. It's iffy. It's really iffy.
It's hard for me to go against Puerto Rico, but we got to be factual out here and actually look at it from from 2,000 feet. But I hope we get past Mexico. If we get past Mexico, we'll have a pretty decent shot. But we're going to be playing Japan, and Japan is just nasty. So
Japan is nasty. And what? I'm looking at the bracket right now too. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we could get past Japan, but I think Venezuela has a really good shot at being the U.S. Just because the U.S. starting pitching is just not good, and Venezuela, bro, that team 1-26, whatever it is in the WBC, that'll be a playoff team in the big leagues today. Like that whole team of Venezuelans, they're all nasty.
Yes, but you got to also remember, Team America. Yes, their pitching is not playing well right now. I will agree, but these are all major league players, or most of them are all major league players. And let's be real, they have the ability to turn it on anytime they really, really, really want to. And they know how to play in tough situations, hard hitting situations that, for all we know, they might just turn in that like end the season gear right now and then go right back to relaxing mode or beginning season mode the minute it's all over. Who knows? Like they might just turn that gear on. It could happen.
Bro, in a 1-game playoff, that's just really hard.
It is, but for a fact, we've seen stranger things happen.
And we may be at a disadvantage playing in Miami. Like, Miami has a bunch of Venezuelans. The Miami people don't go out to see the Marlins, but you have all the Dominicans, all the Puerto Ricans
for real
out to see their country, and Venezuela is going to come and represent.
I said
the Yankees. USA might be on the road in Miami.
I legitimately said that to my wife when we were watching the game yesterday. I heard the game on and I was like, man, Marlins Park is never this full when the Marlins are playing. And she's like, maybe they should have more Caribbean teams play over here.
Well, it's good that Cuba is going to be actually in Miami, which is going to be great for the community, great for the team. And that's going to be a step up for them, I think, a nice little boost.
It depends. Will they make it to the game or will they defect before the game?
Half the team may just wind up in Arizona.
half the team might be in Hialeah for all we know. Let's be real.
They're not going back to Cuba for sure.
They might be over in Hialeah, but like, what? There's a game on? No, man. I'm over here eating some Cuban sandwiches, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I need some coffee. Cafecito.
See?
It's gonna be interesting to see, but I think Venezuela has a really good shot. I really think the final is gonna be Venezuela, Japan, and Japan's probably gonna come out on top just because they're nasty. They got 3 dudes that could throw. Well, Darvish can't throw 100 anymore, but he's 95 plus. But Ohtani can throw 101. The other young righty, he got up there to 102. He's nasty. So I think Japan's gonna take it all.
You know, one thing though,
third time.
I kind of wish Dave was here because he was talking all that stuff in our chat about Dominican Republic, and like now we're where's DR? He was
Yeah.
all like, he was all on that soapbox.
They eating the plátanos at home. All right, we got the maduros in Miami
No,
still
no,
going.
no, 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 no,
Some
no.
pernil.
They're over there. They're doing their thing. The real platanos are at it now.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. We got 2 Puerto Ricans out here. We can't.
Our platanos are better.
Oh
We put the
gosh.
right amount of salt on it.
Right. Exactly. All right. So I think we should switch gears. Talk
Hold
about
up.
the team, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, the chat. Dave's been on the chat. I didn't even notice that. Sorry about that, Dave.
Okay.
So he said earlier. He said the thing is, everyone is like, well, if Diaz didn't pitch in the WC, he wouldn't have gotten hurt. Injuries can happen like this in the spring training just as easy as the WBC. May not be the same way. Very true. Very, very true. You want to get the next one?
Oh, I don't see it. It's not popping up for me. But go ahead.
Oh, okay, sure. The next one is in the Olympics brought back baseball in 2020. That was the first time since 2004. I didn't realize that. I didn't watch the Olympics. I'm not a big Olympic fan, so thank you for that information. And last one, not least, on paper, the Dominican Republic was favored. Well, on paper, I don't care. You could take that paper and go smoke it for all we care.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you could do with it at this point. The Dominicans. Good. No, I mean, it was a great game. And when you're in a Game 7 situation, any little thing everything has to go your way. And in that game, everything went PR's way.
You mean a Game 1 situation, a 1-game situation? You said 7.
Yeah, like a Game 7 type of situation.
Oh, that means
winner take all. Yeah. So everything has to go your way. And it just happened that the ball bounced well for us. The play that Eloy didn't make, the play that Julio Rodriguez didn't make, and PR was making all the defensive plays. And we had help behind the plate because the umpire was terrible. So,
oh my gosh, that one that he called that was like a strike that was like, I felt that was 3 feet outside. I was like, what?
Yeah, pretty bad.
I was like, man, you need some glasses.
Yeah. Angel Hernandez definitely played a part in that.
Angel Hernandez probably would have done a better job. I hate to say it.
No, he was terrible. He's terrible. But let's switch gears. Talk about Yankees. And so far this spring, we're going to talk about the dudes that we think have a shot. They're non-roster invitees, guys like Volpe, guys like Rafael Ortega. Have they done enough, or who's done enough and those group of guys to make an impact to potentially make the big league roster come opening day?
None.
You don't think Volpe's done enough?
Well, okay, I didn't hear Volpe. My bad. I didn't hear you said Volpe. I didn't realize Volpe was part of it. Volpe, yes, but sadly, unless some sort of trade happens with either getting rid of IKF, getting rid of Donaldson, doing something that has to do with that infield some way, somehow, we are not going to see it. I've heard rumors that they have IKF out there, or maybe it is factual. I'm not 100% sure, but that IKF is actually out there doing now center outfield work. So that's a very good thing to help his trade value go up. But I don't see that unless they get rid of IKF and or Donaldson. We're not going to see Volpe in the beginning of the season. We're going to see Cabrera. Peraza.
Yeah, and Gleyber needs to be traded. Oh, not needs, but if you got to open up a roster spot for Anthony Volpe, two dudes need to be gone. It's going to be IKF and it's going to be Gleyber. With IKF being that super utility dude, I don't know how he's going to do with center. Like, he's an athlete, but
he has a very weak arm. Yes, exactly. He has a very, very weak arm. What's going to be his help for being out there is the fact that he's a very speedy person. And if his speed could play into the game for him to cutting the routes out there in the ball, like getting out there in the angles and everything like that. If he could do it, it doesn't matter about his arm power if he could get it out there in time. But he's not a very big guy. I don't see him working very well in the outfield. I just see that the Yankees are trying to do this so that way we could trade him away somehow, some way, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been impressive. And the dudes that pretty much that came on um, non-roster invitees from the outfield, Willie Calhoun, 10 for 27, a homer, 3 RBIs. Yeah, the he's got 5 walks to 2 strikeouts, but I'm not sure if he's like a legitimate left field option in
Nope.
Yankee Stadium defensively. Like the bat's there,
You
but he's more of a
you
DH.
had George Steiner Fender Field and Yankee Stadium all mixing right there. But you were saying that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. Willie Calhoun is not a defensive option in left field in Yankee Stadium. There's no way. In spring training, he's got 2 games in right, 5 in left, 4 DH. I think he's more of a DH, and we got that occupied by Giancarlo. Rafael Ortega, 27 at bats or plate appearances. He's only got 4 hits in 21 at bats.
Doesn't
2
one of them have
homers.
like doesn't one of them have like a 150 average and basically like not even like their weight? Like, come on.
Yeah, Hermosillo.
Yeah.
Florial's batting 138 with 13 strikeouts and 33 plate appearances, which is not. He's playing his way to another team.
No, he's playing his. I don't even think he's playing his way there. I think he's playing his way to DFA'd.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think he has what it takes to even be traded to another thing. That he's going to be having hope that he gets signed after he gets cut.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I see what you're saying. Yeah. And that Aaron Hicks is, gosh. I mean, I hate using stats for spring training, but for certain dudes, it paints a picture, right? I think it paints a picture for Ortega because he's competing. Calhoun is competing for a job. And Hicks should be competing, but he doesn't have any internal drive. All right. So at least it seems that way because in the numbers, like you think after the year that he'd be coming out swinging. 1 walk and 11 strikeouts, which is not Aaron Hicks like at all.
What do you mean?
Especially the 1 walk.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That was him all last season. Get out of here.
Aaron Hicks walks all the time. What are you talking about?
It was trash all last year.
That's the only thing he can do. That's the only thing.
Still trash. Still trash.
He hit like 211 with like a 3-something on base.
Trash.
So he hasn't done enough. But when you go to the infielders, geez, Anthony Volpe, man, he's got the most plate appearances on the team from the infielders. 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. He's done literally everything.
And it sucks. It sucks as a fan to know that we have someone that is on it right now that should be on the roster that I don't believe is going to be on the roster as much as I want him to be on the roster at the beginning of spring train, at the end of spring training. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And I know we haven't said anything about Dominguez, but to everyone's out there saying, oh, Dominguez should be on the team, he needs to do AA in the beginning of the season, like Mark has been telling us, in the cold weather. He needs that. He needs to get that in there first. If he does not get that, when October comes around in New York, he ain't going to cut it. And we're all going to be, why isn't Dominguez striking out all the time? Oh my gosh, he can't handle it, blah, blah, blah. So no, we're not going to see him. If we do see him, it's going to be mid-summer, unless an injury comes out of nowhere that we need to put him out there in an emergency. But he still is going to need some time, at least a month or 2 in AA.
He's not going to see the big leagues this year. There's no way. I'd put.
He might. There's a possibility he could skip triple, but he's not skipping double.
No, there's no way. He needs to get at least 50 games at AA at the very, very least, and they may push that to like 60 to 80 depending on how he does. And then they're gonna want a full season or at least half a season at AAA. But if he's hitting 350 in AA through May or June, then he might be knocking on a door at AAA at that point in time. But don't expect to see Jason Dominguez in the big leagues in 2023. 2024, there's a very good possibility.
Yes.
And he may be on the cusp of being our everyday center fielder in 2024. I want to see better routes from him defensively. The bat is going to be there. But defensively is where I kind of see the growing up still needed to occur. He's only 20.
Wow. Wow.
He just turned 20. Like his
Wow.
first big league camp, he just turned 20.
He's not even going to
So
have fun on St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
nope, not at all. Not at all.
Uh,
4 homers, 9 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts,
mhm.
to a tune of a 1.5 OPS. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And he's done it against big league pitching. He had a home run against Malcolm Brogdon, who's that might be an NBA player, but the Phillies relief pitcher Brogdon,
Okay.
who was a big part of their bullpen, he had a home run for him. So it's just like, yo, like you see the talent. It's very exciting.
The talent behind the plate is definitely there. Okay, when he's there, it's there. So yeah, and you know the situation. I'm not like I can watch a lot of spring training going on at the moment. I'm in that little in that like, oh no, I'm in the void right now. I'm like just getting information on the computer, on the web.
Right.
But from what you said and from what everyone's been seeing it, yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna fight you guys because you guys are the eyes right now. And yes, I'm not gonna fight it. He needs to work on that outfit and probably get some more work out there, so that way he could understand the angles more, get more better defensively, so that way he'd be a more all-around player. So when he does come up there, goodbye, home run city. Go get yourself a seat over in the bleachers because you're gonna be fighting everybody.
Yep. I wish he had more time with Harrison Bader so he could talk to him like about defense and see where that goes. But you know, and then let's go to the pitching because I mean our guys are where they're at starter wise, but the real competition is in the bullpen. Davey already got sent down. He had a really good spring for us. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 walks, 7 Ks. Got up to 97 on the gun, which we haven't seen from Davey whatsoever. At least his time in the big leagues. Albert Abreu is probably going to make this team. Jimmy Cordero, because we got Trevino and who's the other dude that's going to start on the IL for us? I'm blanking. Reliever. Scott Efros is already off the table. So it's going to be interesting to see who those last dudes in the bullpen are. Like Jimmy Cordero's knocking on the door. Matt Crook, he's knocking on the door.
Schmidt he played a lights out today. So what I saw from the numbers,
he pitched well today. I mean, he should be our 5. He should be our number 5. I think
he did very, very well. Let me try to find his numbers right now, actually, so we can talk.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up.
Or you got it up already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 no-hit innings with 7 Ks.
There we go. Yeah, he's playing in the right form, so we're not worried right now. Number 5 or 4, whatever way it goes down at the end of it all.
I still think Mingo is going to lock down that number 4 spot.
I mean, tomato. Realistically, I don't care who's number 4 and number 5. Like, it's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, but 5 no-hit innings against the Pirates. Nothing to sneeze at. Jimmy Cordero, he's been interesting. I mean, the numbers really aren't very good for Jimmy. 5 1/3 innings, only 3 strikeouts, but the stuff is there.
Okay. How's it there? Like
he's throwing 95 plus with the sinker, slider combination. It just hasn't resulted in outs just yet. But he's coming off Tommy John. This is his first season really coming back.
Give it time. Like if he's not in a good form by month number 2, then they could start making some moves. But yeah, if he's just coming off the surgery and all that kind of stuff, and we're seeing what's going on, they're not pushing him too hard yet. Wait till a month or 2 into the season and see when he gets a couple of those situations that he needs to be in, like those like man on first and second, or maybe even bases low to see how he handles under that pressure and all kind of stuff. Right now, it's spring training. We whatever on spring training.
I'm interested to see how he's going to do. Greg Weiser is another dude that's kind of like on the periphery. He's had a pretty decent spring. 5 innings, 3 walks. The walks are killer. Like that's one thing he needs to work on. 6 Ks. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how those last couple of bullpen spots work out because they're not going to be dudes that are going to be coming in high leverage situations. Whitesert, maybe like if everyone's depleted, if King is pitched 2 days in a row, if Holmes is pitched 2 days in a row, maybe Whitesert gets that opportunity to pitch your 7th or 8th inning. But he's going to be that back end of the bullpen dude. He's not really going to be a swing guy, but the dude that's going to come in the 5th inning when someone has a really bad day and you need to start from fresh inning and there's a bunch of righties up. Greg Weissert, that's your lane right there, bro. Like get some outs, go eat, and do your job right there. So I'm excited to see because the arms, Yankees always produce bullpen arms. Always.
Yes.
It's not even.
Yes. They do. Our bullpen for the past 3-4 years, it's been up there on the top end. Like it's starting pitching, at least. That's always been, oh my gosh, we might have had 1, maybe 2, but it's like, oh my, we don't have a full house realistically at the times. We're never really working on ever working on a full house. And Dave, to your whole Domingo and Schmidt are going to be 4 and 5 due to injuries to Rodano Montes. Well, I think I'm going to say for Danny, here's our shocked face. Oh, you don't say. There's our shocked face. There's our shocked face.
Ask Dave if he knows the other reliever that's hurt. It's Efros, Trevino, and I feel like there's someone else, but I'm blanking. Dave, I know you're watching.
Dave, I know you're watching, so let us know when you get that.
when you get the chance, because I'm really blanking right now. Like, who is that? Might be the other. I can't remember. But in the meantime, Sevy has a 10.64 ERA right now in spring in 4 starts. Are you concerned by that?
No.
Neither am I.
I'm not. What's there to be concerned? It's let him do his thing.
Because he's gonna figure it out.
Oh, of course he is. Yeah. Like, let's be real. Before Cole, he was going to be our ace. Like, let's be real. He was going to be our ace. Now, our ace is technically, or at least our homegrown ace is technically number 3.
Yeah, you still put Nestor in that 2 spot?
Canely,
that's right. So that opens up 2 roster spots, and that might go to Jimmy Cordero or Weissert, depending on how the Yankees feel about when Canely's coming back. Because Canely's probably going to be out till end of April, early May.
Yeah.
It usually takes him about a month to get over that tendonitis. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. But I'm not worried about Sevy at all. Like,
why?
I mean, the 10.64 is a huge ERA, and the homers, but a lot of that is like the springtime homers, because in Lakeland the ball's flying. The Tigers lead, or last I heard, led baseball in homers. I'm like, yo, bro, thank you, Lakeland, for pushing those balls out of there. Because
Danny, we're talking about spring training right now, bro. We're talking about spring training. Same thing that happened when last year's spring training, that we're like, everybody, not me, not you, but let's be real. Okay, I don't think anyone on this podcast at all. I'm actually going to say it. No one on this podcast said it. But everyone out there in Twitter and Yankeeverse and everything, like, oh my gosh, Higgy's hitting home runs. Oh my God. And look at it. Yeah, we're stuck with him for the beginning of the season. I'm going to say it. But you know what? He's a bum. He's trash.
Well, Higgy's good at one thing. Well, he's
you know what he's good. You know what he's good at right now? Being the 3rd catcher sitting on his butt for the World Baseball Classic. That's what he's doing right now.
He certainly is doing that. But
vacay. He's getting a vacay.
I would love to be the 3rd string catcher on any big league team. Forget about yo, play once a week. Okay. Have your one pitcher you gotta catch. Okay. Easy day. I'm cool with that. do your work on the side. Be ready to hit, maybe. Like, I really can't hit, but if homeboy
hit. He could only hit when it doesn't count. Okay, everybody, that's the only time he's gonna be able to hit.
Shoot, now that we're talking about catchers, might as well just talk about catchers.
What's up?
Trevy's out for a little bit with his wrist thing. Like Boone likes to say, "Oh, it's a foot thing. It's a wrist thing." But we actually know what it is. It's sprained wrist, and we're waiting on getting some injections in there. Potentially, he may be back before opening day, and I think that's the hope. Do you see him winning another Gold Glove this year?
No. He's going to play awesome. He is going to play awesome. I believe someone else in the league will get the Golden Glove, but he will play and on par to at least be in nomination for it. But I don't see him getting it again because baseball politics, just like all sports politics, realistically, they're not big on giving awards back to back at times.
Yeah, I still think. Well, it depends really on how his numbers go, but based on last year and how great he was, like there might be some regression, but I don't think it's going to be regression to the point where he's not considered a Golden Glove catcher. So
1,000%.
I think he's going to be in the conversation. I'm gonna go on a limb and say he will win another Gold Glove. I will say that.
Ooh.
Yeah, hot breaking news.
Hot take.
Trevino,
hot take.
Yeah. Trevino will win another Gold Glove this year.
Positivity, I love it.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's how I do. My concern with Trevi is the bat, and it will always be the bat until proven otherwise, because he's a career backup. Like he's a defense first dude. Like, I think he barely hit 250 last year. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick. In 115 games, 248, 283 on base. 388 slug, good for a 671 OPS and 90 OPS plus. Like I would like to see an uptick in that, especially in the slug, because I think it's in there. I think he could get to like 15 homers. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility, but that could have very well been his best offensive year ever. I think you could see anywhere from 8 to 15 homers from Trevi. And you'll be happy with somewhere in the middle, and that's what he gave us last year. But he can't be an automatic out like he was towards the end of the year. We needed him to be that stick at the bottom of the lineup that could really turn over the lineup, and he just disappeared in the second half. It was pretty bad.
That is true. So, what do you want to say about Higgy or Ben? Or you want to go to
Ben Rortvit, the ghost?
Ben, where are you?
You Ben who?
I mean, we're signing checks for you, but we never seen you.
Exactly. Where you at, bro? I said this on Twitter the other day. The best prospect you've never seen. Like,
oh my God.
Where is this guy? I don't know. But I think a couple guys have kind of passed him up on the depth chart. Carlos Narvaez, he's a young catcher, and 12 plate appearances, 2 homers. Those are only 2 hits he's had in his 12 at bats, but 4 walks, 7 Ks, and those 18 plate appearances. So that the 7 Ks is kind of high, but the power is impressive, and it seems like he calls a good game, and he's able to throw runners out. He's 24. He's more of a organizational depth piece, but in the pinch, I wouldn't feel terrible about having him on the roster. Obviously, Higgy's still our go-to backup, and he really hasn't had the opportunity to play this spring. But you know what Higgy's going to give you? He's going to give you decent defense, enough to make some pitchers happy, like Eric Cole, and he's going to hit you 10 homers. Like that. Okay. That's what he does. He's barely going to hit 200, but you're going to get the 10 homers, and you're going to get some decent defense. And that's what you want out of a backup. Him and Trevino together as a tandem, you want to see that's 20, 25 homers, Gold Glove level defense, at least from Chevy,
Mhm.
and Higashioka to do his 1 day a week with Garrett Cole or whomever. So, yeah.
All right. Any other catchers you want to talk about, or you can think
They
of?
got Roberto Duran. I mean, yeah, Rodolfo Duran. He's 25 years old. He's another catching depth organizational guy. Someone that's not going to really make a big impact at the big league
That
club.
that's exactly how I'm looking at it right now. Like I understand it's like catchers and everything like that right now, but like I'm not really going that far in the depth of our catchers right now because I feel it's going to be it's going to be the Higgy Trevino show again. Like we're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, someone else comes into it, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But if it does happen, hey, I don't know how to do this transition realistically, but I'm trying my best. Maybe you could buy some seats from SeatGeek and then use our code Bronx Muchachos for finding those seats to find out when that other catcher is at the game. And while you're doing it, you could buy yourself a new hat and lids and use our
Yep.
code for lids tonight. 24 lids.
That's the way to do it. Get on it, stuff. Buy some stuff. Have some
Buy
fun.
it. Buy our gear.
Show up to Yankee Stadium with some Bronx Muchachos gear. You'll be all right.
For real.
You'll be good.
Look. You know this. Look at that beautiful hat. Look at it. Look at it.
I'm not wearing it tonight. I'm out of uniform.
Yeah, for real. I was going to say uniform, sir. Uniform.
3 lashings for that.
You're lucky. This isn't like the Viking times.
Thank God. Thank God.
Have you start walking with some heavy rocks.
Let's not do that. I don't want to do that. I'm fat. Cannot do it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Food's yummy.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of being number 2 catcher, we're the number 2 podcast last week on Good Pods, weekly top 100 baseball podcast nationwide.
Let's be number 1. Let's be number 1 this week, guys.
Woo! Exactly.
We're coming
1 is
for
the
you.
lowest number, but we're coming for it, right? We actually finished 25th on the top 100 baseball pod all-time list and 65th in the top 100 sports podcast list. So that 25th spot was one ahead of a Astros podcast. So the Astros podcast can kick rocks. You are one behind us in the podcast game, at least for this week. If only in reality. That was the case.
I'll keep that. I'm gonna hold on to that for a while, man. I'll take it. Did you want to talk about what Hal's been saying? That Hal's saying that he's basically keeping this as a race for infield. It's like he legitimately
go run with it.
Yeah, he legitimately put out there. He's like Hal Stadbrenner also spoke. This is on Sports Illustrated. He said that spoke growingly of Volpe and that he won't publicly take sides of it. He said, if I really, really feel strongly about something, then I'm probably going to make sure it's done. I feel like that's a BS thing to say about someone who should be definitely a contender on your squad for opening day. But that's Hal doing Hal things, being wishy-washy.
I mean, I get it. That's what you want to do in the when you're talking to the public, to the media, as an owner, unless you've spoken to your GM and you're expressly told them, like, hey, I want Anthony Volpe to be my opening day second baseman. It's kind of hard for him to say something out there and kind of put Ashman behind the 8 ball. And, that's not a good way of doing business. And Hal would never do anything like that.
But then again, that's Hal. But then we got Booney. He said that Volpe's very much in the running on being on the opening team on the team on opening day. So that's also a good sign. So who knows?
And some veterans are speaking up as well. Aaron Judge made those comments the other day.
Okay.
Pretty much saying that, hey, you want the best guy on the team no matter their age. It doesn't matter if they're 19, if they're 41. If they deserve to be in the big leagues, then put them there. So that kind of goes hand in hand with Anthony Volpe. Does he need more AAA at bats? I don't know. From everything that we've seen this spring, I'd be hard pressed to say Like, yeah, he needs some more seasoning at AAA because what was it? He had a home. Gregory Soto is one of
Mhm,
the best left-handed relievers in baseball, bro.
mhm.
He had a slider. He smacked one of Gregory Soto's sliders to left field like it was nothing. Like he he's ready. Like he's ready. He's ready to make an impact at the big league level. And he's not going to be those dudes that just going to be coasting by or barely making it. No, he's going to be a star. And there's just so much. There's so many moving parts that the Yankees need to make that before that even becomes a reality. We already spoke about it, but we don't want to beat a dead horse. But
Yeah, we're not
Anthony
beating that.
Volpe is definitely a dude that should be spoken about and should be spoken about highly.
Yes, 100%. All I know is this: when I get the show, when I get the news, when the show comes out, ooh, if he's not on my roster, I'm gonna put him on my roster.
99, everything.
Exactly, done game.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
He's a stud, man. I can't wait to see him in the Bronx. Like whenever he does make the opening, not opening day roster, but whenever he does make the big league club, like it's just gonna be so electric. And he doesn't even need to play short. He could play second. He could play third. But I guarantee he's gonna get some second base, a lot of second base, in AAA. But man,
that might be what they're going to do. Then that it might be that they want to have him now work over at second to get that rep that Glaber never really that Glaber was living over there, but he didn't get the shortstop. Oh my gosh! And then oh no, look what happens when he had the chance to be a shortstop, and it was like that was a debacle.
yeah,
So I feel like it's better to try to give him the ability that hey, here's some more second base. Now we're good to go. And injury happens, we'll swap you right on over. You're good to go. You know how to do it both. So
I think the
make it
Yankees
work.
kind of made a mistake not trading Glaber or IKF when they had the opportunity to. Well, not last year, but based on what you're seeing from Volpe this spring, like
But think about it though, Danny. Yes, I'll say it. Not last year. I
yeah,
will agree with you. You would have been irate if they did do it last year. But looking at it now, if they would have done it last year, they did. Let's say they did trade him. They did bring Volpe up last year. We wouldn't be having this fight and this discussion at all right now. It'd just be more discussion. Who's going to get second base? Who's going to get first shortstop? That would have been this discussion going on realistically. And we would not be worried because who knows what we could have got. We could have probably got some pitching for Glaber if everything would have worked out.
well, we can get better pitching now for him 100%. Same thing. Well, IKF is probably going to get you a mid-level something prospect, whether it be pitcher or whatever case may be. But it's going to be really interesting to see when Volpe is really knocking on the door, hitting 380 in AAA, something like that, and Glaber's hitting 150 in the big league. Like, what happens then? Like, that's a legitimate question. Like, the fans are going to be going crazy. They're going to be knocking on Cashman's door. Like, yo, you need to do something right now. Get this kid up here. If something like that does happen, because Glaber's going to have to get up to a hot start just to
Hopefully.
just to get the stuff out of his mind before Volpe goes a little bit crazy and dominates AAA.
Yep. Yep. So anything else you can think of, buddy?
No, man, I think we pretty much covered all the bases.
Well, then you know what?
Yeah, WBC catchers,
Mm-hmm.
kind of NRI guys, and that pool unfortunately is very shallow. We're swimming in the kiddie pool when it comes to the NRIs because I don't think any of
Mm-hmm.
them are going to be. I don't think any of them are going to be impactful, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm really really looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward that we have about 2 weeks left until opening day. Let's be real. And when that day happens, then now real baseball is going to kick in. And once real baseball kicks it, because yes, I'll give it. Everybody's been telling me baseball's still going on. It's not blah blah. But let's be real. Until the wins count and the losses count, it's not real baseball in my opinion. But I think that's going to
two
have to
weeks
be
in a
a
day.
wrap. Yep. I think that's going to be a wrap, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening to us today. If you are watching, you look at our description on the show description. You will find our link to our bio with all of our stuff. And don't forget also, if you're out there, to Spotify, Apple, like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff that you got to do. And yeah, for me, Danny, and the rest of the muchachos who didn't make it here today, good night.
Adios.